My uncle Mikey, my mother's brother, he was like an organized crime criminal, but was pretty much a renegade on his own, doing his own type of things. But
Hmm.
he loosely associated with the mob. My uncle Danny, my grandmother's brother, was heavily involved with the mafia back in the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Yep.
Etiquette, all the notorious guys. My uncle Danny was with them. Whitey Tropiano, Billy Grasso. So he was heavily involved. And my father was just a hardworking, legitimate man, owned a fruit and produce store.
Yep.
And then all the type of mobsters coming in from the Western Mass, Springfield. Guys used to come in, bosses from New York, have meetings there. But my father had nothing to do with, he let them, use the back room and have and do things like that.
Did your father, like, were your parents, did they try to steer you away from being around those guys?
My father wanted me to work in his fruit and produce business,
Yep.
which was backbreaking work, miserable work. I
Hmm.
give him credit for being able to do that and raise a family, getting up at 4 in the morning, coming home at 6 at night,
Yep.
back to work. And so he always wanted me to follow him and be involved in legitimate business. It was just not, which I did. I worked for him at a young age. I liked, being around. It was a family business, but I just started making money, and it was easy for me, and it just didn't make sense to be working at a business making, working 80 hours a week back then, 1980s, $400 a week, and I could be making, in an hour's time, 3, 4 thousand in an hour. So it just didn't make sense for me to work with him. But yeah, they wanted me to. They never pushed me to getting into the mob.
Yep.
They never about my business, any of my street stuff. In fact, fast forward, the book is coming out now. Like my mother, my wife at the time, nobody ever had any idea what I was doing back then.
Yep.